Welcome back to My Only Scams. Today we're going to take a look at another doctored up third-party auction vehicle. Now if you don't know what that means, a third-party auction car is one that's listed at the auction for sale, not by an insurance company. It's usually one that was purchased previously from an insurance company. The buyer brought it back to their place, did a little bit of work on it to hopefully increase the value, and then they're running it back through the auction. Now usually these are cars that are completely destroyed and not worth fixing, and they kind of just make it look good for the pictures so that hopefully some unsuspecting buyer will go ahead and purchase it and find out the hard way things are worse than they thought they were. But this one doesn't seem too bad, but it did go from drivable to non-drivable. And with our favorite sellers being the ones that are selling it, they have been known to swap out certain parts. So is that what they did on this one? Well, I don't want to be the guy to find out. So let's take a look at the vehicle and see what they did.
So let's take a look at this 2023 Honda Accord EX. It's for sale by our favorite sellers down in Miami, Florida. That is a rebuildable Florida title. It's being sold with the title pending because it is floor planned. 17,752 miles. No seller down here, so I know it's a third-party auction car. And they're hoping that they can get $11,900 for this thing. So let's take a look at it and see if it's worth $11,900. Not from these guys. So let's see. Looks like definitely hit another car over here in this corner. And they hammered out the fender and the hood a little bit and kind of stuck it all back together. Missing a fender liner and a headlight. And we got a little damage over here as well. Missing a corner of the bumper. Got a busted headlight. Looks pretty good over here. And it looks pretty good over here. Looks like we got a driver's airbag that's deployed. I don't see anything else, at least not in that picture. There's a picture of our front end. Okay, we got a dash emoji, a few dash emojis. It's not running. Almost no gas. Pretty typical for these guys. Everything over here looks okay. There's our VIN. We got our under hood picture. Nothing looks too scary under here. Of course, we have a closeout panel that covers up a lot of the stuff we want to look at. Looks like our fender's off a little bit here. Not surprising, it is hit. We do get a fob. See what our interior picture looks like. Okay, we definitely had a curtain net deployed. We got some tears in our headliner here. Looks like we're missing a microphone. So you can be sure they didn't put that back in. Looks like just the driver's side. And a little extra seatbelt there. So our seatbelt's deployed. So let's take a closer look at it in person and see if we can see anything that we missed. We'll verify it's our favorite sellers before we check and make sure that they signed it with their signature repair. Definitely have a broken headlight and a bumper. Didn't really miss anything there. And there's their signature, the drywall screws. Definitely hammered out that fender a little bit. It's in the driver's airbag. Didn't even take the plastic off the radio yet. If they sewed up that seat, they did a good job. And our knee bolster airbag is definitely deployed. And we're also missing the cover for the bottom of the dash here. I don't know where that went. Look under the hood. Looks like our upper rail might be pushed over a little bit, along with some other pieces in there. That's why the overflow isn't where it belongs. They just kind of stuffed it in there. Doesn't look like anything's been disturbed here. I don't see any marks on any of the bolt heads. I don't see anything unplugged or unclipped. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know if you see something. Still don't understand why it doesn't run. Fix that for you. Now, if it wasn't from our favorite sellers, I might even take a gamble on this car. But they have a reputation, makes me stay far away from it. Well, now that we've seen it in person, taking a look at the pictures, what do you think it looked like before they had their hands on it? Well, it's been at the auction a couple times. Wanted their 11.9 and supposedly didn't sell it for 12.4. I'm thinking they were bidding on their own vehicle again. They did buy it back in 5.8 for $8,300. A few zip ties and drywall screws, and now it's back up for auction. They didn't really do a whole lot to this one, at least not that I can see. So let's see what it looked like when they got it. Uh-oh. No, I don't want to pay. We're going to have to go somewhere else. Okay, so we're missing our bumper, have our damage up here. I would imagine that the bumper was in the back of the car. No damage back here. We still didn't have any, so we kind of knew that. We're missing our fender. Looks like we're missing a rocker molding, a headlight, a little damage on the hood here, and the adjuster drew all over it with parts that they wanted to replace. Looks like a State Farm must have had a Progressive adjuster working for them. Or Geico. They both love to draw all over vehicles, which is kind of nice. It helps you see in the pictures what they wanted to replace. And there's the reason they totaled it. We got a seat airbag that went off, a curtain airbag, and our knee bolster, and our steering wheel airbag. Little aerial view here. We didn't have anything go off on this side. Same mileage on it. Hasn't really gone anywhere. A few dash emojis. It's not running. Our rear seat side airbag is also off, in addition to our curtain and the front seat side airbag. And we can pretty much see everything underneath it. Nothing really scary on this one. Oh, and we did get all of our parts. Here they are. So they basically just put all these parts back on the car. There's our VIN. So it's really not a bad accident. Easy repair, a few airbags. Although, because this seller has had their hands on it, I would stay away from it, even though I think it wouldn't be a bad car to fix. I am not rich enough yet to take a gamble and buy the car to find out the hard way that I'm in over my head.
So this one wasn't really bad like most of the other ones that they're trying to cover up. Why they didn't just go ahead and fix it properly, I don't know. Maybe they just needed some parts and just swapped all their bad parts into this thing and sent it on down to the auction for somebody else to deal with. I don't know, but all I know is it's from my favorite sellers, so I'm gonna steer clear of this thing. I mean, if maybe I had a whole vehicle to take the parts off of, it might be worth fixing or even taking a gamble on, but I don't. So I'm just gonna leave it there in Miami. So hopefully this gave you an idea of what to look out for, even if the accident doesn't look that bad. Third-party sellers, you definitely want to see the car in person, and even then, you still might not have the whole story. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.